It's not fake, it's science. Here's the truth about synthetic gemstones and diamonds versus natural stones and versus simulant stones. I'm going to tell you all about it. My name's Alex Reynolds. I'm founder and designer for Charming Quail Jewelry Design. If you've ever looked at a stone and wondered, is it real? You're not alone. It's a common question, right? And the words natural, synthetic, and simulant get tossed around a lot and can be really confusing. So, with no guilt, no shame, I just want to educate you on what those words mean so that you can purchase confidently knowing that you've picked the stone that's right for you. So what are natural diamonds and gemstones? Well, this is usually what you're thinking of when you think of diamonds and sapphires and rubies and things. They are stones that were created by the earth and mined from the earth. They usually have imperfections and inclusions in them, and they're very rare and valuable. Think of them as little pieces of Earth's history. So what is a synthetic stone? Now this is where it gets a little trickier, right? A synthetic stone, it's not a fake, it's science, right? So instead of being created by the earth and mined from the earth, a synthetic stone is created in a lab, right? So it's science. And the thing is, they are the same chemical compound, they are the same structure, they have the same durability, the same sparkle performance, but they come at a lower cost and they're more ethically sourced. So honestly, this is my favorite thing to use in the jewelry that I make in my jewelry lines are the synthetic or the lab created stones. They're very easy to get. The prices, the value is so good. The performance and the durability you're getting for the dollar you're putting in is much higher. So think of this as the same ingredients, but faster. So what about imitation stones? Well, these are stones that are made to look like something else, but are made of a different material, oftentimes glass, resin, or plastic, although sometimes they can be legitimate natural gemstones that look like something else, like spinels, which are really good gemstones, are often used as imitation stones for other stones. Now, imitation stones often are called simulants. So if you're in a jewelry store and a salesperson uses the word simulant, you know they're talking about an imitation stone. They're not trying to trick you or anything, but you can't really use the word imitation in a jewelry store because it freaks people out. Mostly because it freaks out customers and they tend to clam up and think, "Ooh, I don't know if I can trust this place. I better leave." And then that, of course, makes salespeople freaked out too. So the word simulant is the word you're going to hear in the jewelry store, and that's the word that you should probably use if you want to talk about imitation stones in the jewelry store. So imitation stones usually don't have quite as much sparkle, they're not as durable, but they have a great low cost. So really, there's nothing wrong with using them if you're okay with it not being a forever stone and a little bit lower performance, but you love the low price. That's great. There's nothing wrong with simulant stones or imitation stones, just as long as everybody's clear on what's being purchased and the prices are fair. So think of this more as costume jewelry than heirloom jewelry. So here's a quick chart to kind of show you what we've talked about so far. So natural stones are real stones, but they are formed in the earth, and they're usually the highest cost stones. Synthetic stones are also real stones, but they're formed in a lab, and they can cost more, but they usually cost less than the natural stones. And imitation stones, which are not real stones, and they are typically formed in a factory and usually very low cost. So here are my tips when shopping for gemstones and diamonds. Ask, is this natural, synthetic, or simulant? Also, look for honesty and transparency. And remember that synthetic stones aren't bad. They're great. They're real stones. The idea here is not to chase the rarest thing, but to find the stone that you love and buy with confidence. So I've worked with both natural and synthetic stones, and they've both been wonderful. The natural stones have beautiful inclusions and stuff that tell more story and have more story behind them, right? But at the same time, the synthetic stones are still the real deal. They have the vibrant colors and the beautiful sparkle and the durability, but at a much more palatable price. And I've seen those be really popular, and I swear they're picking up in popularity as time goes on. So keep in mind, the idea is not to look for the rarest stone, but to look for the stone that best fits you and reflects you, right? What I wanted to do today is to educate and empower you to make a confident buying decision. And that's the sparkle I hope you'll leave with today. So if you've liked this video, click this one next. I think you're really going to like this too.